We're going to do here is something just a little bit different. Uh, on our Thanksgiving Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, we always have a testimonial service, and it's a very sweet service, and people stand and say what they're grateful for and what they're thankful for. And this past Thanksgiving, we had a precious young brother and sister team to stand up, Jessica and Logan Chatham. And they had just a very, very sweet testimony. And it just blessed our hearts to hear this testimony and to see how God had worked in their life. And it was such a blessing. I told them, I want to do that on Sunday morning, sort of just so we can just all get in on this blessing. So what we're going to present to you this morning, and you can just enter into the life this is just one example of God's miracles. And God's miracles go on every day in almost every family here. And I think we're going to recognize that one of these days. I think somehow we overlook it, but I think one day we're going to recognize it. But this is just a way to help us recognize what God has done in the life of just one family.
In 2002, Logan was 6 years old. Roughly around this time, Logan became ill more frequently. Logan couldn't make it a week without getting sick at school or at home after meals. During this time, Logan visited the doctor quite often and went through medicine for acid reflux, saw varied specialists, visited an eye specialist due to Mike and Cindy, noticing his left eye looked misaligned. Toward the end of March 2005, Logan started acting differently. He was fatigued all the time and just wanted to sleep. Logan was only in the second grade at that time. He was a great student in school who always did what the teacher asked and was friendly to everyone. But during the week of April the 3rd, 2005, Logan became very ill once again. He visited the doctor a few times this particular week because he got sick quite a bit at school and was doing things out of the ordinary. They were told by doctors in the early part of the week that he just had a virus. Later on in the week, his health started to decline and he was throwing things at the teacher and being mean to his friends. They took him back to the doctor where they were told that it was still a virus and needed to run its course. Then one evening, Logan was enjoying baseball practice at the town park. All of a sudden, the coaches noticed Logan lying down on the ground at his position. Mike and Cindy at this time were positive something was wrong with Logan, and he did not have a virus. They took Logan again to the doctor's office in Abingdon, and this time they saw a different doctor. The doctor immediately ordered a CT scan to be done at Johnson Memorial Hospital. The family went straight to the hospital for the scan to be done, and after the scan, the family learned that Logan had a tumor on his brain stem and fluid had built up around it. They were informed that a Pegasus plane was on its way to transport Logan to the University of Virginia Medical Center in Charlottesville. Immediately, Cindy got on the phone and started calling everyone to plead with him to begin praying. Word got around and someone called a couple from Freedom Tabernacle who were dining at a nearby restaurant, and they came and got Cindy and Jessica and drove them to Charlottesville. Mike and his brother-in-law drove on up to UVA. On Tuesday, April the 12th, the team at UVA took a biopsy of the brain and found the tumor was the size of a tennis ball. While they performed the biopsy, they rerouted the spinal fluid to help with fluid buildup. Later on that day, they did a CT scan, and the pressure was better in his brain. Logan was at the hospital at UVA for 29 days. During that time, he saw many specialists from UVA and some from Washington. He'd even seen an eye doctor at UVA a few days a week while there because the tumor affected his eyesight. Many doctors that attended Logan told Mike and Cindy that they could operate and remove the tumor, but it would be very dangerous because of its location. Some people said they should get a second opinion. Finally, the doctors at UVA and the family decided the best option would be just monitor the tumor and leave it in place. During the 29-day stay, Logan went on to school at the hospital. While at the hospital, the family felt numerous prayers and experienced God's power and blessing so strong. It was unreal how many people were praying for Logan and sent cards of encouragement and money. Logan's teachers, peers, and administrators put together a lot of cards, even a movie wishing him well. churches in the community, including Grosses Creek, was part of planning a benefit singing that was held at the high school shortly after the family returned home. The Make-A-Wish Foundation reached out to the family once they were settled in and came to encourage Logan by allowing him to choose something that he wanted to do. Logan chose a trip to Disney to celebrate making it through all those days at the hospital. The Make-A-Wish Foundation flew the family to Disney World and paid for all the expenses of the trip. The doctors scheduled appointments for MRIs to check the size of the tumor about every 3 months. The family traveled every 3 months for about 2 years, and nothing changed with the tumor. Doctors then said they could come every 6 months. They did that for a couple of years, and still nothing changed with the tumor. So they started going every 9 months. Still nothing changed. Roughly in 2011, doctors told them they could come every year. They went once a year for about 4 years, and still nothing changed with the MRI scan results. Beginning in 2015, doctors became very pleased that the tumor had not grown. So they told them they would have to come once every year and a half unless they noticed any changes in Logan. Now the family continues to go to Charlottesville once every year and a half for an MRI, follow-up appointment, and a doctor eye appointment. So nothing has changed with the tumor, and the family gives God the credit for his blessings throughout this journey.
As you've seen in the video, April 2005 was a very scary time for us. I remember as Logan's bed was in the Johnson Memorial Hospital, I held his hand in the hallway as Mom and Dad were in a room hearing the news. We were told by the doctors at UVA when we got there that had we not gotten him there within 36 hours, he would not have made it. While in the hospital for the 29 days, Logan made sure to shine a light for Christ. He told the doctors and the nurses at UVA that there is no God like Jehovah. Doctors doubted that he would see his teenage years, but I'm thankful for a praying church and a prayer-answering God, because I'm standing next to my best friend today, and he is 22 years old.
Lately I've been looking back along these winding roads to the old familiar markers and the mercies I have known. I know it may sound simple, but it's more than I can explain. There's no other words to tell you than to say God's been good in my life. I've been blessed beyond my wildest dreams as I go to sleep each night. Sure, I've had my share of hard times. By my side, he's always stood. Through it all, God's been good. Times replay and I can see cried those bitter tears, but I felt his arms around me as I face my darkest fears. I've had more gains than losses, and I know more joy than hurt. As His grace fell around me, undeserved, God's been good. In my life, I've been blessed beyond my wildest dreams as I go to sleep each night. Sure, I've had my share of hard times, but by my side He's always stood. Through it all, God's been good. God has been my Father, my Savior, and my friend. His love was my beginning, and His love will be my end. And I could spend forever trying to tell you everything He is, but the best way I can say it is this: God's been good. In my life, I've been blessed beyond my wildest dreams as I go to sleep each night. Sure, I've had my share of hard times. By my side, He's always stood. Through it all, God's been good. Sure, I've had my share of hard times. By my side, He's always stood. Through it all, God's been